Alright, finally level 90 for the 5th time. And somehow I still do not know what I want to main this season. So this is a fresh level 90 paladin and the plan is simple. Well, simple in theory. I want to gear this paladin as fast as possible, tank my way up to around 2.2k Mythic plus rating, then swap over to red paladin, play DPS, and push to 2.3k rating for this video. Basically tank first, then suffer, then carry. Then later become a damage dealer and act like that was always the plan. Also, I leveled this paladin right before weekly reset because I wanted to abuse the reset as much as possible. Vault, coffer keys, delves, weekly chests, loot, everything. This whole thing took me 2 days, but actual playtime was around 15 to 16 hours total. So no, maybe this is not the most efficient route in the universe. Maybe some goblin scientist out there has a better spreadsheet. But for me, this is probably the fastest way to get a character to 260 plus item level and also reach 2.3k rating in around 15 to 16 hours. And yes, that includes sleeping for like 5 hours because sadly even paladins need sleep. So I wanted to show the full journey, the full pain, the full luck, the full nonsense. So maybe you can copy this route too, or at least use some parts of it at your own pace. So let's start from the beginning. As you can see, I just hit level 90 and I'm currently sitting at 163 item level, which is beautiful. By beautiful, I mean absolutely terrible. So first thing first, I need to fix this disaster. I go straight to the auction house to check if there are any cheap 200 item level gear pieces. If I can find them around 200 goldish, I buy them. If not, no chance. I am gearing a paladin, not funding somebody's retirement plan, so I'm not gonna pay more than 200 gold. I also had some warband account bound plate gear from other alts, so I used those as well. After equipping all that stuff, it looks like I reached 210 item level. Honestly, not bad at all. At least now I can start doing world content without getting folded by random outdoor enemies. And more importantly, I can start farming copper key shards, because the real goal is to start doing tier 8 bountiful delves for those nice champion track pieces. So now the plan becomes very simple. Kill the world boss, do all the weekly quests, get the cash rewards, get some veteran track gear, collect more copper key shards, grab some radiant sparks, and of course some gold too, because being broke is also not fun. Sadly, I was not super lucky with actual gear drops here, but I did get a lot of copper key shards and enough upgrades to reach 221 item level. So now it is time to do even more world quests, even if some of the rewards are just adventure track gear, because at this point, if I can replace some of my 180 item level pieces, that is already a massive win. And honestly, adventure gear is not even that bad early on. You can upgrade it to 237 item level, which is pretty decent for a fresh character. So after doing more of that, as you can see, I'm already 225 item level. At this point, I wanted to maximize as much copper key shards and crest as possible before the weekly reset, because I knew once reset hits, the real speed run begins. I figured I could sleep like 5 or 6 hours, wake up again, and continue the madness. But before going to sleep, I did a +6 Mysara Cavern for the vault loot. And yes, I was so tired that I forgot to record the footage. Very high quality content creator moment, by the way. So just trust me on that one, because I was leveling for 10 hours before that and it just messed me up. It happened. I was there. The dungeon was there. The rating was there. Then I literally woke up 1 hour before the reset and I rushed into a tier 8 bountiful delves with a treasure map. This was right before reset, so timing was actually insane. Somebody in the group had beacon of hope, so we used that. Then I got another champion gear from the treasure map setup, which I used it right away so I could get another hero track gear at the end. After that delve and after getting like 3 big upgrades, I reached 233 item level. And weekly reset was literally in 10 minutes. I could not believe this. Honestly, this might be some of the best luck I have had in a while. A hero track gear drops and it's a tier set. And that is what I call a jackpot. And at that point, I knew I was gonna complete my 4-piece tier set today. I already had 2 charges for the tier conversion, and with this piece, I just needed to hit 2k rating to get another charge, so I could complete my 4-piece bonus basically in 1 day. Very normal behavior, by the way. Fresh level 90 yesterday, full set today. So right after reset, I went for a +6 Magister Stress, just waiting for a healer, and luckily we got one pretty fast. The plan here was simple. Pull as much as I can handle. Maybe 2 packs, maybe 3 packs if cooldowns are up. Let's see what happens. Man, these books almost killed me. Especially that pyro guy with all the AoE nonsense. Classic WoW dungeon design. You walk in and instantly feel disrespected. Good thing they died fast. Then I cleared the whole boss area left and right because I do not trust people, not even a little bit. I know how pugs work. If I have one extra pack alive, somebody will look at it funny and then ninja pull it. Suddenly the whole dungeon becomes a documentary. So I cleaned everything. This corridor was also absolute pain. For tanks, for DPS, for healers, for mankind in general. I ended up solo pulling that last pack there. They were hitting hard, but somehow I survived. And those voiters, actual pain. Just interrupt them. I was also very surprised by my DPS here. I'm just 236 item level. I'm tanking and I'm still doing that much damage. So if I'm doing this much damage, then actual geared DPS players out there must be doing crazy damage. I mean the prot paladins. That is why I kind of like prot paladin in pugs. You get strong interrupts, good control, good damage, and overall it just feels very useful. Then on the last boss, this is where the many groups throw the key away because people do not soak. People see mechanics and suddenly become philosophers. But this group actually played it well. Everything went smooth, we timed it, and we even two-chested the key pretty easily. That gave me 243 rating for this dungeon, which made me a 488 rated prot paladin, already moving. Then I started lagging a bit, so instead of risking keys, I decided to do tier 8 bountiful delves instead, and honestly, good decision. I had stacked a lot of coffer keys, and I got some really nice upgrades from all those delves. After that and after upgrading some gears with crest, I reached 249 item level. Then I also did some Mythic 0 dungeons because some people recommended it to replace a few of my blue pieces. Got some nice upgrades there too, which pushed me to 251 item level. At this point I was feeling more confident, so I decided to go for a +8 Mysara Cavern. I needed rating, I needed gear, and I was feeling brave, sometimes too brave. So I opened with a bloodlust pull on first 3 packs. I almost got completely bodied. I'm not an experienced tank, alright? Sometimes I believe in myself a little too much, but still we lived. Also do not forget to clear that room for the Cauldron buff. It is actually pretty nice. Then on that boss, man. That boss felt like I was doing a world first rate progression. No joke, it felt serious. We were fighting for our lives. Then after that we had 15 deaths already. And one player also decided to die on the boss while everybody was doing like 30k single target DPS. That boss really felt like some secret final phase of a world first rate boss. After everything that went wrong in this dungeon, we still almost timed it. No cap. If we did not die that many times, it was probably free. But fate had other plans. Because I had already timed a +6 Mysara Cavern before, like 7 hours earlier before the reset, I only got +13 rating from this one. Still, I did get a nice two-handed weapon, which would help later when I switch to DPS. So that wasn't bad at all. Next key was +6 SOTT, and I was actually excited for this one because we had an augmentation evoker in this group, which means my confidence level instantly goes up to by 200%. So obviously I decided to bloodlust the first 4 packs. Very calm, very normal, very safe. At first I hesitated a bit, then I went for it, and somehow it was smooth as butter. When I had cooldowns, I was pulling big packs constantly, and it worked really well. Before jumping down to the third boss, I was a little worried about my enemy percentage, so I decided to play it safe. Then I jumped down and decided to pull basically the whole area anyway, because we had Prot Paladin and Augmentation Evoker. At that point, CC is not a problem. At that point, the dungeon is the problem. And we were almost 3-chesting this key. We had almost 4 minutes left on the 3-chest timer, and yeah, we 3-chested it with no issue. With those loots and upgrades, I reached 254 item level. Now things were getting serious. Next stop, +9 Windrunner Spire. It was fortified, but honestly I did not care that much. I was starting to feel a bit tanky, especially if I pulled around my defensive cooldowns. And tanking is actually fun when you can survive and pull a lot. So I was having a great time. Also, Windrunner Spire is probably my favorite key this season. I pulled 2 packs inside with the spiders, destroyed them there because we had good DPS and I'm basically a CC machine. And then another big pull here. Pull the cat inside too, so we can cleave everything down easily. Time-wise, we were doing really well. It was looking like an easy 2 chest. Another double pull inside with other packs. You just have to make sure to interrupt the Banshee and burn it down for the shield. And honestly, for a fortified key, it felt very easy. There was another moment where I wanted to pull 3 packs, but the group DPS felt a little bit low. In the end, no need to become a motivational video and throw the key away. Those packs can wipe you very fast, so better safe than tragic. And yeah, we 2-chested that key too. I got around 299 rating from it, and at that point I was around 1k rating total. And then the game gave me the same helmet again. Not 1, not 2. Actually 3, if you count the tier helmet from the vault I already had. So yes, my paladin was apparently opening a helmet shop, but it's okay. We keep farming. Next key plus 9 nexus. I was pretty chill about this one. I did not need anything crazy. I just wanted to time it, but ideally under 20 minutes. I was not doing huge pulls here though. These packs are pretty manageable if you have a prot paladin and a good CC around you. And the group DPS was also fine, so things were dying before they could do anything annoying. The last boss is also pretty simple. The only reason people fail there is because of the illusion mechanic. Just find the one without the horn. That is it. Not advanced science. Just look at the face, look at the head and move. Then interrupt. And we cleared the key in almost exactly the time I wanted. Got 302 rating from it, and now I was at 1.3k rating. Also got a nice champion track Creed H ring, which finally replaced my veteran track ring. That pushed me to 255 item level. Next up was plus 9 Skyreach. I opened with the first 3 packs using Bloodlust because it is fortified, and using BL at the start there is just efficient. Very nice pull overall. Then of course the mage died right after the boss pull because he was standing on the gate. Beautiful start, truly inspiring. Then I pulled 2 packs there because I had cooldowns and those mobs do not hurt too much unless the bird guys get enraged. Later on I committed everything into this pack and hope nobody would die. It was a massive pull. Tried to CC, tried to kite, tried to look like I knew what I was doing. And somehow it actually went well. Nobody died, which was surprising. Those packs are nasty. At one point I was even ready to use my bowl if needed. Also not trying to point fingers, but if a Boomkin is doing 40k overall DPS in a plus 9 fortified key, that feels a little low to me. I know it was his key and we joined him, so I'm not here to start a war, but still, it is what it is. Anyway, we timed the key with like 1 minute left, which is still a massive win for the humankind. I got 291 rating from it, which pushed me to 1638 rating. And then the most important question, did I get loot? Of course not. Why would I? At this point I figured I needed around 2 more keys to reach 2k rating and beyond. Those were Algathar Academy and Pit of Saron. So I went for Algathar Academy plus 9 first. And man, this run was tragic. These ads felt immortal. We were barely scratching them. I was panicking. I was running around, getting chased. People were dying every minute. At 24 minutes, we had 24 deaths. That's poetry. That is balance. That is pain. These French players were very angry, blaming me for their deaths. And for like 1% I thought maybe I was the problem. Then I checked the interrupts. I had done over 50 interrupts already. And yes, I know I'm a prot paladin. Interrupting is part of the job. But still, I was not the only issue here. It was just one of those sad moments. The whole group was suffering inside a plus 9 Algathar Academy for 36 minutes. At that point, it was not even a dungeon anymore. It was a life lesson. Like Linkin Park said, in the end, it doesn't even matter. And just to make it even better, I got the worst possible trinket drop after all that. Very emotional moment. After that nightmare, I was at 1905 rating. So now I only needed Pit of Saron to get over 2k rating and unlock the next year's set charge. So I joined a plus 8 Pit of Saron. And this one was the complete opposite. Opened with a huge bloodlust pull at the start. Pulling from left, pulling from right. Basically pulling half of the dungeon. And finally I realized something very important. Maybe, just maybe, I was not the problem in the last dungeon. Maybe it was them. After successfully gaslighting myself back into confidence, I continued with more massive pulls. Everything was dying so fast. After 36 minutes of Algathar pain, I was finally having fun again. And yes, the group was also actually good. This Affliction Warlock is 251 item level. Was already beating the 271 item level Warlock from the last dungeon in overall damage. Yes, it's a different dungeon, different pools, different timers, different everything, but still, I'm bad at math. that. So I'll just call it impressive. On that boss with that rock phase, I tried to pull the boss over the stone so the DPS would not lose up time during the hiding phase. Even melee can still hit the boss that way, so it is nice. Then later we got blocked. It's like a giant ice wall from Game of Thrones. Even they copied it from World of Warcraft, but the situation was we did not free all 6 prisoners. So of course we had to run all the way back to free last 2 prisoners. Then on the next boss, the only way you wipe is if people do not place the circle on the glowing corpse. That's it. And yet I have seen absolute destruction there many times. Also, if you do not interrupt that plague dude, you are asking for trouble, man. Usually we just use bloodlust there, interrupt that guy, kill all the ads fast, and it becomes easy. And yeah, we were about to 2-chest the key with 6 minutes left, and we did exactly that. I got around 284 rating from it, and now I was sitting at 2189 rating. Also, a ring dropped, and I politely asked if I could have it. They gave it to me. That is why you always ask, never be shy. Worst they can say is no. Or maybe kill yourself. But trust me, it's a great strategy. At that point, just look at the character. I was already 257 item level. I could literally push 260 right there with crest upgrades if I wanted. But first, I had to do some important things. I need to convert my tier pieces and finally get the 4-piece bonus. And honestly, the 4-piece looks sweet. More damage is always welcome. Then I upgraded more gear with crest, and it looks like I reached 258 item level. But no, we are not stopping there. The goal is 2.3k rating today. We did not come this far to be reasonable. So I joined another +9 SOTT. At the start, I still did not pull literally everything. So maybe my courage had not fully evolved yet, but I was getting there. Bloodlust with 3 bags, then the rest was smooth. The healer was good, the DPS was good, so I was pulling big whenever I had cooldowns. And honestly, I felt pretty comfortable. We timed the key with around 3 minutes left. That gave me +49 rating, which pushed my overall rating to 2238. And once again, I got boots. But these had mastery, so I can use it for my red paladin later on. At this point, I realized I probably needed a higher Magister Storage key to hit 2.3k rating that same day. But before that, I did some Nightmare Praise, farmed more crest, pushed my item level to 260, and also got a new one-handed weapon. Then came the moment, a +9 Magister's Terrace, but this time I was bored of tanking, so I decided I would DPS this key, and also rest of the keys until I reached 2.3k rating, and crafted my 285 two-handed weapon for Red Paladin. Because let's be honest, this whole tanking journey, this whole suffering journey, this whole interrupt simulator, I did all of this so I could finally play my Red Paladin properly. High rating, high item level, faster invites, less pain. That was always the dream. So yes, I tanked my way up here. And as you can see, I'm not even that bad at DPS either. Maybe this is my main this season, who knows? In that key, we 2-chested it very easily. And funny enough, I was actually the top overall DPS. I still needed around 7 more ratings, so sadly I had to go back to Algathar Academy again. But this time I was playing DPS, not tank, and magically the key got timed. Interesting, very interesting. So with that run, I finally pushed over 2.3k rating in one day, and the final result was 261 item level and 2.3k Mythic Plus rating. But wait, I still had one more thing to do. The actual main goal. I had to craft the 285 weapon for my main spec, which is Red Paladin. So there we go. All the hard work, all the pulls, all the pain, all the interrupts, all the random pug behavior finally paid off. There is my 285 weapon for the season, and now I'll be doing more damage. Also, my overall item level is 263. Honestly, I can probably hit 270 item level this week if I really want to. I just need to farm Mythic Plus non-stop, get more crest, and keep upgrading gears. So I think I'm on the right track. And honestly, for me, this feels like one of the easiest blueprints this season for getting geared fast, while also pushing Mythic Plus rating at the same time. Am I missing some other methods? Probably. But for me personally, I have never geared up and farm rating this fast on any other character this season. This paladin hit level 90 basically yesterday, and now today it has 4-piece tier set, a 285 weapon, and 2.3k rating. Also 263 item level. Now the question is, could I push 2.5k rating today? Maybe, but I have been farming for 16 hours non-stop. So no, it is time to sleep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this journey. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you want, I can make more videos like this, showing the full process from zero to hero.